Okay, we all know why we're here. I have no idea what I want to read. Of course, I'm going to let Nate pick the books that I am going to read this week, but I want to show you the books that I really, really, really want him to pick and the books that I really, really don't want him to pick. So I actually went to Target today and I bought 3 books. So all 3 of those I want him to pick, but I'm going to show you probably the one I want him to pick the most. So I'm not going to say it out loud because he's in the other room. I don't want him to hear. I got this one. And I would love to read it, even though it's kind of thick. The words are kind of small. I think it's close to 500 pages. That's spooky, but it seems like a really good, I think it's set in the 70s or something happens in the 70s. It's a thriller. And I would really love to read this. Another option we have, a lot of these are going to be thrillers because I have a lot of unread thrillers right now that I got recently. But for a romance, I have this one. This is the book of the month. I haven't read this one yet. I would love to get to it. It's a shorter book. I would love to read this one, so I really hope he picks it. This one I know nothing about, but I got it at Goodwill. It was $7. Very happy with it. And I have read one other book by this author. Actually, no, 2 books by this author, and I really liked them, and I would love to read this one as well. I'm going to try to read this author's entire backlog, but for now, this is all I own by this author, and I would love to read it. Thank you. This one is like a maybe. It's just been on my shelf for a couple of years, and I haven't picked it up yet. I also don't even know what it's about. I think it's a literary fiction. I haven't read it, and I feel like I'm not going to read it unless someone makes me read it, so I would like to read it. Another option I would really love for him to pick is this one, which I got this month, and it's another romance, and it's like weather related, so I don't know. That feels kind of fun. I don't really have a genre in mind. I have books. This one has also been interesting to me since I got it last month. Kind of different from other books that I've read in this genre. So I'd be very intrigued to read this one. But I think that's it for all of the books that I really want to get to. Obviously, the other books I still want to read, but those are like my most anticipated. So I'm going to go get Nate. I'm going to let him decide what books I read. I'm not going to be here. He's going to do it all on his own. Please welcome my husband, Nate.
We know she's a book of the month girly. At least 2, honestly, a majority of these are book of the month anyways. Okay. I like what this top shelf has. The Heartbreak Hotel. That sounds sad. American Married, The Maidens, Happiness Falls. That also sounds sad. I don't want a sad book. The Kindest Lie. We don't like liars in this household. The Girl with the Louding Voice. Unspeakable Tragedy? Nuh-uh. Where's our happy content? Dinner for Vampires. Life on a cult TV show. This sounds interesting. Huh. Okay, I like that. That's 1. Perfect. Why are all these books sad? I don't like sad books. I don't like books in general, so. The Fangirl. Low-key sounds boring, not gonna lie. NGL for short. Here's the freaking summary. What do you call it? Oh, on the back. Duh. I know books. Paris, and she works at a bookstore. That's all I had to hear. Number 2, 8 Days to Elsewhere. Okay, let's get into spooky. I think she just got this one, and it's one that I picked out at Target. So we're gonna pick this. The Housewife. That's number 3. One more chat. Stay with me. I kinda, low-key, this cover is speaking to me. Untamed. I mess with the cover heavily. So that's it, chat. In review, we got Dinner for Vampires, 8 Days to Elsewhere. We've got The Housewife, and last but not least, Untamed. Peace out until next time.
Good morning, everyone. Happy day 1. Happy day 1 of my husband picks what I read for a week. I just reviewed the footage of Nate picking the books. It was so funny how he didn't want to do any sad books. I kind of love that. And it's true, I do have a lot of sad books, but I feel like a lot of the books that he thought were sad were not actually sad. which is fine. I also really appreciate he picked a bunch of books. Almost all of the books he picked, with the exception of the new one that we just bought, all of the books he picked were books I was probably not going to get to, or they've been sitting on my shelf for a really long time. So I'm really, really glad he did that. And that was kind of in the back of my mind, a plus I was thinking of. So he did not pick any of the books that I wanted, but he did pick books that I do need to read. So I'm very grateful for that. In order, these are the books we have. He already did a summary, so you know what we're getting into. The first book is going to be Dinner for Vampires by Bethany Joy Lenz. I believe this is a memoir because it's based on a true story, and I think she herself wrote it. So I think it's a memoir. Very intrigued about this one. I also checked, and almost all of the books, with the exception of the new one, were available right away on Libby. So I have them all except for the housewife. All of them, with the exception of the housewife, I have the audiobook too, so it'll be really easy to read them fairly quickly. I wanted to start this and go on a walk around the park, but it is currently 95 degrees outside, and I don't think I can actually handle that weather and physical exercise. But for now, I don't really have any plans. Today and tomorrow I'm off of work, so it's just reading, 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 and reading. So I couldn't be happier. Thank you, Nate, for picking my books for this week. Let's get started in reading Dinner for Vampires.
We can do better. We could be chasing dreams. We know what's right, and we know how it feels. Yeah, we can do better. We can make a change for real. Yeah, we can do a lot better. We can be facing fears. We know what's up, and we know how to get there. Yeah, we can be stars. We can be the best. Just put us to the test and we'll show the world there's another way if we just try a little every day.
Oh my gosh, I did not have my microphone turned on. I filmed a whole update, no microphone. How many times am I gonna do that before I learn to double check? Hello, update for you. I have been reading for many hours Dinner for Vampires by Bethany Joy Lenz, or Joy. I don't know what she goes by yet. I haven't gotten to the end of the book. As of now, she goes by Joy. Her full name is Bethany Joy Lenz. She's an actress. She's acting in One Tree Hill. Oh, also, apologies for my appearance. I did not do my makeup or my hair today, and I have been laying down reading for many hours, and I don't care. I probably look crazy. I don't care. It's fine. This poor girl is becoming an increasingly popular actress in One Tree Hill, and she's also a deeply devoted Christian. Amazing, but happens to be in a cult. They are, taking scripture and traditional teachings and like extorting it. I don't know how to explain it, but like twisting it, manipulating it to fit in with the way the cult leader like wants to control the group. It's like a very tight-knit family. They call it a family, but it's a cult. And they are like so controlling of her career, like what she does, who she hangs out with. They've had her turn down 2 proposals and multiple jobs that she really wanted. One was like a dream role that she really, really, really wanted and was so depressed after. And then she got into a relationship with someone who, Les, the cult leader, it's his son, QB. She gets into a relationship with him. He proposes. I don't know if this guy ends up being her husband, like long term. She has broken off many engagements, but at the beginning of the book, we get a snippet of her talking to her husband, and she has a baby with her, and she's talking about leaving him. And so I don't know if that's who this guy is. I don't remember if they even referenced his name at the beginning, but we know whoever she does end up marrying and having a child with, it does not end up well. And I'm sure her leaving this cult situation doesn't end well. I mean, it ends well for her because she ends up leaving and writing this book. I'm really nervous to see what happens to her and how she gets out. I'm pretty far in. I'm on chapter 21. I just have been reading for a long time and I want to take a break. So I'm going to just decompress and watch some TV, and then I'll probably get back to the book later. Also, I think it's funny, I have 7 days to read these books and I'm already on day 1, almost done with the first book. I don't, like, in my brain, I'm trying to read 1 book a day. That's not really the point of this, but if that happens, like, that's fine. This can be a 4-day long challenge if that's how it goes. I'll get back to you guys in a little bit. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Can you see this? I don't know if you can see that. It's 4:15 in the morning. I'm talking incredibly quietly because I do not want to wake up my husband. I wanted to try out a new morning routine. I saw this girl on Instagram who wakes up at like 3 in the morning and does so much stuff, gets so much stuff done, all while watching like TV shows, and like she'll get a whole season done in one morning, and she gets so much stuff done, and I kind of want to do the same thing but with audiobooks. So I'm kind of taking inspiration from her. I woke up at 3 this morning. So far I've showered, gotten ready, done my skincare, all of that jazz, got dressed, made some tea, took my meds, set up this. So pretty soon I'm gonna go on a walk, but I'm definitely gonna most likely finish this either before my walk or right at the beginning of my walk. So I just wanted to update you about that. I am almost done with this book. In the story, Joy is getting to kind of a breaking point with the cults and how controlling they are in her life. So we're kind of seeing how she's starting to maybe break away from all of that. After that, I'm gonna get started on book number 2, which will also be an audiobook while I'm on my walk. But yes, that's it for now. I'm gonna read and get some things done. I probably won't get to update you until like a few hours from now because I am gonna go for my walk, and then after that run a couple errands. But I will be listening to a lot of audio. Because book number 2 is 80 Days to Elsewhere, and I actually don't know much about this book. I got it for $3 at Goodwill, and chances are when I got it, it was half off. I think I got this book for like $1.50. So I believe this is a romance rom-com, maybe. I believe she's the owner of a bookstore. There's a Paris element, and obviously I love those things. That's why Nate picked out this book, which I think is so cute. So I'm gonna be getting to this book a little bit later. Let's read. I actually can't deal with recording on my phone. This is ridiculous. I don't have my camera mics anymore. Well, I do. They're in my car, but the audio is being very, very weird. So now I'm just using my phone and earbud microphone, which for some reason is currently better than my microphones. Those just work better with my camera, but I'm walking now. The sun is up. I think I have the whole park to myself. I think I'm gonna finish the audiobook by the time my walk is over, and then I'm gonna move on to the next book. But I'm so happy I'm out. The sun is like not fully out. It's cold. It's not unbearably hot yet. I can wear a sweatshirt. It's so nice.
We can make it better. We can do better. We can be setting goals. We understand right down to the soul that we can do better. We can have a heart of gold. So let's step it up. Step it up. Step it up. We could be making moves. We know what time it is, and we know just what to do. Yeah, we could be on top. And you know it's true. If we just give ourselves a chance, we can show the world.
Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. It is actually a couple days later. Someone is riding a motorcycle super fast on this road. Okay, so it is a couple days later, and Nate and I are actually camping right now. He is out getting coffee and a couple things that we forgot. So I thought I should update you. I'm still reading 80 Days to Elsewhere. I'm actually on page 167. This one is super interesting. I don't think I've really talked about it at all yet. Last time I updated you, I think I finished Dinner for Vampires, but 80 Days to Elsewhere is vastly different. This is a fiction about Ramona, or Romy, who works at a bookshop that her uncles own, and the building got new owners. This is a building in Manhattan, by the way. So the building got new owners, and they made the rent basically absurdly high in an attempt to get them to leave so they could take over the store, essentially, I'm guessing. And Romy wants to save the bookstore because obviously, like, this is her uncle's child, like it's their baby, like that's the bookstore. And so she's trying to find opportunities to make money to help save the bookstore. Also, like, they're not making enough to even pay her anymore, so that's no longer an income. So she is looking for a job opportunity and comes across an ad, like a piece of paper with a phone number on it. She goes, she learns about the job. She has to essentially go on this journey that took place in this book. She's supposed to follow the journey of the character, make it around the world in like a short time frame, and if she makes it, gets to all the stops, updates her boss, all of that jazz, she will get the job, and she'll get, like, I believe like a $10,000 bonus or something like that. So Romy, having nothing else to do, drops everything and leaves for Europe. So currently where I'm at, she's made it to Paris, London, Italy, and now she's in Egypt. And one of the guys that was basically like trying to take over the store, his nephew just like showed up. He's also taking this job and trying to complete this journey to make the money and like get the job. So basically she's competing with her arch nemesis's nephew. Definitely her enemy. She wants this job. She hates him. He's trying to take over her uncle's store, or at least his uncle is trying to take over her uncle's store. It's kind of confusing. I do believe this is enemies to lovers, so at some point she falls in love with the evil nephew. We'll see how that goes. But so far I'm really liking it. It's taking me a while to get through it. I just have not really been reading. We were prepping for camping and now we're here. But I want to try to finish this one and maybe the next book before we're done camping, because I am behind on reading for sure. But now we're here. I literally have nothing else to do but relax, enjoy nature, and read and hang out with Nate. So I couldn't be happier. So yeah, I'm gonna read for now and enjoy camping.
Everything's gonna be okay. We just got to try a little every day, and we can make it better.
It is 7:30 p.m. and I just finished 80 Days to Elsewhere, and I'm not going to tell you all of my thoughts, but it was pretty good. It did take me a little bit longer to finish than I was expecting. To be fair, I did read about 70% of the book today, so that is a lot. I just thought I would read it a lot faster than I was going to, but I had a good time while I read it, and I will tell you all about it later when I share my final thoughts with Nate. So this could be out of order, but the next book I'm reading is The Housewife by Natalie Borelli. It's this one here. I believe this is a thriller or a horror. Jody has built the life she always dreamed of, a beautiful home, a respected husband, and the image of the perfect wife. But behind the picture-perfect facade lies an obsession she can't let go of, proving that Roy killed his first wife, Deborah. Deborah's presence is everywhere, in the stories Roy tells, in the looks the neighbors give, in the house that feels like it still belongs to another woman. Everyone says Jody should be grateful for what she has, but something isn't right. And the closer Jody gets to the truth, the more dangerous her perfect life becomes. But Roy isn't the only one with secrets, and Jody is ready for revenge, even if she has to kill for it. So yeah, safe to say I'm very much excited for this one. Oh, bug. I anticipate reading this fairly fast. I tend to binge thrillers because I need to know what happens. So we'll see. Nate's gonna be back in a second. He had to run. He's left like 4 times today. I feel terrible. He went to go grab a couple more things. We're gonna do s'mores, or actually it's not s'mores, it's like s'mores but in cones, like waffle cones, if that makes sense. But for now I'm gonna get started on the next book, since I'm kind of just back in the reading vibe right now. I'm back in it for now. I am really glad I had Nate pick these books. Hey guys, it's the next day. I don't remember exactly what I shared with you last night. Little update. Last night I started reading, or yesterday, I started reading The Housewife, and this is super good so far. I'm like flying through it. I'm on page 100 or so, and I don't even have the audiobook, and I'm still absolutely flying through it, which is great. That's really good. That means I like it. It's so far really, really good. There was a plot twist, like at the beginning of the book. I don't really know how to explain it. I don't think it was on the back of the book either, so I don't want to spoil it. It's very, very, very interesting. I am having a good time, and I'm really curious to see how this plays out and how Jody, the housewife, plans to find evidence of her husband having something to do with Deborah's death. It's really good so far. I think chances are I'll probably end up finishing it today, which is great. Nate and I went out to eat lunch, and then while we were out we went to Walmart and I picked up some books. I got 2 books and I'm very, very excited about them. The first one, we have Dolly All the Time by Annabelle Monaghan. Very, very popular book right now. I've seen a lot of people reading this. I've seen a lot of people absolutely loving it, so I saw this and of course I had to get it. And then next, this is my first book by this author, but I've been wanting to read books by him for so long. We have My Friends by Frederick Bachman. And I'm really, 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 really excited about this one. I've heard his books are just incredible. His writing is so good. I feel like I've heard he writes really, really good character relationships. So very excited for this one. But unfortunately, I won't be reading them in this video. I'm gonna have to wait because I do need to get through the books that Nate picked out for me. But so far, I would say this is going very well. Okay, Nate. We're here today because a week ago I asked you to pick out books for me to read. Do you remember this?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, I didn't finish all of them, but I finished 3 out of 4. So, would you like to know what I thought?
Yes.
Okay, starting out, book number 1, Dinner for Vampires. This is a memoir about Bethany Joy Lenz. She was an actress on One Tree Hill, which was/is a very popular TV show that was running for many, many years. She also happened to be in a cult at the same time, like for real, for real. It was a very scary, hard time in her life, and this book basically just discusses the beginning of that all the way through the end and how she makes it out. And I really liked it, surprisingly. I did not think I would. It did not seem like anything I was interested in. She also looked kind of evil on the front, right? Like, so in my brain, I thought I was gonna hate this, but I actually really liked it. And I gave it 4.5 stars.
Okay.
So pretty close to a 5-star. Next, this book I was reading a lot of while we were camping. 80 Days to Elsewhere by Casey Dyer. This is a completely different genre. That's what's funny about this. You kind of picked insanely different books. Like all of them were very different, which is a good thing because I wasn't bored of any of them. This book is a fiction novel. You're following Romy, and she works at a bookstore with her 2 uncles, own the store, but the building just got a new owner, so they raised the rent in an attempt to basically kick them out. So it's an insane amount they can no longer afford. They can't pay Romy anymore. And she's like, well, shoot, I need to do what I can to help save the shop. And they're like, no, we don't want you to do that. She goes out on the street and finds a flyer with a phone number on it. And it's for this exclusive job opportunity. She goes to the interview and they're like, we're going to give you a credit card. We want you to travel the world and follow the journey that this character in this book, an ex-Libris adventure, do the same thing he did. Report back, document it for my client, and then if you do it all within a certain amount of time, you'll get the job. So she goes on this adventure. Oh, she also cannot fly anywhere. She has to make it without flying on a commercial plane. So while she's on this journey, she finds out that the evil nephew of the guy who owns the building now is also doing the same thing as her. And they're racing against each other to try to finish the journey first, make it back, get this $10,000 bonus and the job. However, they kind of start to work together And if you can imagine, a little something something happens. They start to develop a romance, and I don't want to spoil it, but it's a very fun adventure, and it talks a lot about like the white savior complex, because Romy is white and the guy she is interested in is half, I think he's half black, and then they also team up with a Somali Muslim girl, and while they're traveling the world, Romy keeps trying to find ways she wants to like save people, and she's offending people, and it's just like a big lesson about some people don't need to be saved in the way that you think they do. So I thought it was pretty good. I gave this book 3.5 stars. So no, that's good. That's good. That's still really good. That means I liked it. It just wasn't like, I wasn't obsessed with it. I still think it was a really fun story though. It was a good time. Last but not least, I also couldn't remember what order you picked the last two books, so I don't know if this was the last one or the third one. I think this was the third one, but I could be wrong, so. Anyway, this is a domestic thriller. You're following Jody. She is newly married to Roy, and she is trying to find out what happened to Roy's first wife because she died of suicide, but she doesn't believe that that's actually the case, and she's doing everything she can to try and learn what happened. I will also say she is an incredibly unreliable narrator. So she's telling the reader things that you come to learn might not be exactly the way she told you, and it kind of changes the way how you look back on the story and what she's been feeding you. Very good, very exciting. There were a billion plot twists that I did not see coming, one that I did, but overall, this was super, super good, and I'm really glad you picked it out. And I gave this one 4.25 stars. I would have rated it higher, but there were some elements that I don't want to, well, I'll explain them to you, but I can cut it out, so.
Yikes.
Those were all of the 3 books that I read. So thanks for picking them out, because they were really, really good. And most of them I never would have picked out for myself. They've been sitting on my shelf for a long time, so thanks. All right, any final words?
No.
Okay, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you want to see Nate back on the channel. Okay, bye!